Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. Well, we sit here, ladies and gentlemen, on the eve of when you are about to have the most horrible PTB dropped on you that you can imagine. And yes, we have been trying to do some tests, and the streams have been laggy and all kinds of bullshit. I, again, don't know why that is, but when I play off stream, it seems to be better. So I got back on and I did a couple more matches, and this match here stood out, and I decided I wanted to kind of do some commentary of it for a couple of reasons. Just that this is not the build that we've been testing with the wage build, the one that simulates the base kit buffs. I kind of used tonight to kind of run my own shit. Again, just to run the builds I have right now to kind of feel how they feel in Mr. Nice Guy. And that is what we are calling the strat still. It is Mr. Nice Guy. But I thought I would kind of go over just some of the fucking problems that you see. Just like, again, in one fucking match, you can just figure out that this just is bad. It's bad and doesn't work, and even when you're winning, it's just... I mean, look, bro. The fucking game is 20 minutes long, just about. A 20-minute match of Dead by Daylight. My God. That just, like, saying that out loud makes me want to just throw the fuck up. A 20-minute match of Dead by Daylight. Fucking 20 fucking minutes, bro. Like, holy fuck. The amount of time you lose to even one match of Mr. Nice Guy, bro. It's just crazy. So, we spawn in with Dredge on fucking Nostromo. Big map right away. So we got our build that we have on Dredge right now. We are testing Blood Favor still, but the other perk we would have here would be Spies from the Shadows or Discordance. Possibly, if the base kit pop is good enough, maybe we won't use Call of Brine. Or if, like, the changes are just fucking bad, we'll fucking just get rid of all the slowdown perks and have, like, Spies in there and maybe Discordance or something. And then maybe that would be the build. Bump right into somebody early. So it's like, okay, let's see if we can get some Blood Favor value here. We kind of drifted towards our Hex at the start of the game. If you come to see, we could rewind it. We kind of, like, went over there initially just to kind of see what the hell was going on. And then moved over accordingly. That's how we ended up running into this person or whatever the fuck. But anyway, she just didn't really have our position and took a guess and fucked up. So, we don't know if she saw Blood Favor was active or not, or if she just planned to hold W anyway. Fucking Blood Favor is countered by holding W. Situationally, not every time, but like it certainly can be. Save the Best for Last would be good with Blood Favor, but like it does just suck though, because save you need to like get hits for it to kind of work, and Blood Favor will probably be fucking gone before save is working and online. But anyway, we're just doing this chase here. Doing this here chase, bro. We're making it happen. Okay, we're just gonna do some Dredge things here. Go back to our shit. We knew where she was. And we get that down, and Blood Favor goes off. So we're gonna... No reason to not slug here. She totally did not have anywhere to go. She may have been able to get to a window or something, but like... That was Blood Favor value. We're gonna see if we can get her again, but like we kind of see where she's going. We make sure that she's not there. We know that there's two people not here, which means this is kind of safe. SWAT anyway. Sometimes you get to get some free hits if they kind of try to sneak back up on you. And so now we instantly leave. That's our first hook state. And Mr. Nice Guy, we have to immediately just leave the area. Kind of see what else we can find. We're going to get some base kit auras coming up, so that will be helpful. We do manage to find them, though. Gen's almost done. That perk saves her. So we're going to come Call of Brine this. The Call of Brine will be stacking. That is a Pop Goes the Weasel in the next patch, or something akin to it. We'll find out those values tomorrow. But Call of Brine does kind of stack with that. So maybe Call of Brine is going to be interesting because as you will see, Call of Brine does put in work in Mr. Nice Guy. Okay, so you can't use that stupid loop, that fucking brain dead horrendous loop there. We do kind of are able to kind of cut her off for her to making any other kites. She is fucking good at juking the camera a little bit, but we still managed to get the down. So, like, again, because we played like that, though, look, they healed off all of our pressure. Which, I mean, we had 2 injures and shit, so they weren't doing gens during that whole thing. But it is just terrible that they were able to just heal everything off in that time. Because I wouldn't call that the longest chase in the world. We down are what? 255? 255, and we kind of started. What? It's the same person, right? So we kind of committed, like, what is that, 230? So around a 25-second chase, and they heal off all of our pressure. It's just very, very crazy how fast they're able to do that. But anyway, come over here. We would get some auras, but we just got to bounce right back over here to where we kind of know they were. We do get some auras, so that's going to be a confirmed play there in the next patch. There's the Jane. We're still, like, kind of spreading everything around here. But just look how much we're, like, going everywhere. And, like, it's been fucking 3.5 minutes of Dead by Daylight. They are at 0%, and we've hooked 2 people. We've only advanced our win condition 8%. Right? Or no, it's excuse me, 16%, because it's 8% per hook. So we are only at 16% of our win condition after 3 minutes of play. That is horribly inefficient. Now, technically, if you tunnel somebody, like, it's technically the same percentage, but, like, we have nobody on stage 2 yet. Having somebody on stage 2 is admittedly, like, bigger. We would like this down because she's injured, but she has an exhaustion perk. We want to make sure that this person doesn't get to crawl over to the pallet, and we want to call Brian this. And we were successful. The person behind us actually drops the pallet, which you can't hear, but they do. So now we are at 24%. Once they pop 1 gen, they're basically tied with us. It is just pretty crazy. Okay. Easy dredge plays. This is going to be a stage 2. And again, this is very, very much Mr. Nice Guy. Like, we are playing exactly how we are supposed to in the upcoming update. One thing that's going to be interesting is to see if that base kick pop has a length to it. They just popped the first gen. We were at 32% of our win condition advance. They are at 20. One thing that's going to be interesting, though, is to see if that base kit pop has a time limit on it, like the real one, or you get to perma-store it. If you get to perma-store it, it will perhaps be a little interesting. We don't know where the other person is. We're going to make sure we just take the deep wound on this person. All we care about is the deep wound. We're not interested in tunneling her at all. I probably should have kicked the pallet right there. It wouldn't have been that much of a time commitment to do. But to be fair to me, though, we also know that the basement save is about to happen. So we want to get over that to that as quick as possible. Hit the Jane. Okay, we got 3 people injured. We hit lots of hits. Nightfall is active. Cut her off over here. We have now... with this hook, we will have hooked the entire team. One thing that you will see that I'm kind of concerned about here as we progress, because look how well we're doing. We're doing exactly what they want us to do. We're not tunneling anybody. We're being Mr. Nice Guy. But something that I'm actually concerned about here is, look. The person, Camel Titty 25. Jesus Christ. Camel Titty 25. Are you looking? is one hook state away from dying. Now, to be fair to me, wait a minute, how much? Okay, to be fair to me though, okay, Camel Titty 25 is one hook state away from dying. So, to be fair, I don't actually think we give them repair buff here. We don't give them repair buff. The last person we hooked before Houston Syrup was, who got off? Camel Titty 25 gets off the hook. Okay, so if we kill her, okay, if we kill her, we give them repair buff, and we can't use shit the rest of the game because it'll be a double hook and it'll only be 5 hook states. My issue is there is potential for you to not tunnel and still get not enough hook states to stop them from getting repair buff. Repair buff is the one I'm super concerned about. Because, again, regression perks, if you are in a comfortable spot, you can give those up and it's worth fucking killing somebody. Like, I feel like that's going to be kind of the play. Fucking repair buff, it worries me. Especially since if you have to hook less than 6 people. So you can hook one guy 3 times and one person 2. So you could hook, here's the scenario I'm envisioning in my head, and we were dangerously close to hitting it this time. You hook one person. That person is hooked. You hook somebody else. You go back, hook the other person again. So there's one person that's on a stage 2. Then you hook a different person. So you've hooked 3 people. And then you go back and are able to find and kill the other person and hook them. Right? You technically did not tunnel. You did not tunnel anybody. Correct? You didn't tunnel. You killed one person, went to another, found the other person again. They're a stage 2. You tunneled, you hook somebody else. This is the 3rd survivor you've hooked. Then you managed to go find the person that's almost dead, hook them. You've only hooked 5 people, and thus they get repair buff the rest of the game. That is bullshit. There is precedence for you to find yourself in situations where you will not be tunneling, but still kill somebody and thus give them repair buff. And that is, of course, not accounting for any situation where they kill themselves on hook. And that to me is very unacceptable. If I were making changes to the patch while still keeping the core ideas of it, you delete repair buff entirely. Repair buff is a very stupid idea, and the fact that you have to hook people 6 times is dumb. It's stupid. The double hooking by itself, I believe, is enough punishment for killer to not tunnel. Unless it's it is enough of an incentive to not want to do it, because you want to keep your regression perks and your base kit regression that you get for the new pop. I believe that's enough of an incentive to not get somebody, to not double hook somebody. Especially if this haste is any good. If this haste that they're going to give us is any good, you should be able to kind of have enough speed to, especially on a character like Dredge here, because again, Dredge is not subjected to the losing values that the top tiers are, because the Dredge is not a top tier. He is not subjected to losing value, so he gets the full pop, the full aura reveal, and the full haste. He gets everything. So, that, if you can secure that advantage state potentially, you are not wanting to give that shit up. I don't think, especially because if you got a good flow going, But if you have a good flow going and your good flow naturally leads you to killing somebody at 5 hook states, you should not be punished for that. That is absolutely ridiculous, because you're not punishing tunneling there, you're punishing efficient killer play. If this is anti-tunnel, it needs to punish tunneling and tunneling only. And the way to do that would be to punish if somebody dies after a second hook. If you want to even make it so bad that you give them repair buff and you can't use fucking shit, if you want to move everything to just the second hooking effect, that's still bad because it's too much for double hooking. Sometimes double hooking, because again, sometimes double hooking, that if you overly punish the double hook, sometimes that leads to its own issues, because the double hook doesn't necessarily mean they're being tunneled either. Because pretend you go over to somebody, you chase them, whatever, and they outplay you. Let's pretend they outplay you, and then you decide to leave. You break chase because you're fucking Sadako, and you're chasing somebody at fucking I don't know, what's a busted main building tile, the center of Mother's Dwelling. You're chasing somebody. You have your flow going. You actually manage to secure a hit, but then the fucker gets set up at fucking the fucking God Mother's Dwelling tile, or maybe they hit you with a God pallet at the fucking center of Ormond, or the center of Disturbed Ward. Insert stupid tile there. Killer Shack. Sometimes even Killer Shack you don't have enough time to fuck with. Pretend, and then you leave, and the person already got healed. They have no more DS. They have no OTR. They are not being tunneled, but they still have inherent protection because you fucking hooked them last. That to me is fucking stupid too. So it really, neither system is actually good the more you look at it. The safest way to deal with the tunneling is the conspicuous action bullshit. Or if you want to make it so the protection that they have for being double hooked also goes away on a conspicuous action. Maybe, but like how would you even fucking program that? I don't fucking know. It's just the more you analyze these situations for both the double hooking and the fucking 5 hooks, the more you can form situations in your head of, oh shit, this is not accurate. They're punishing me for tunneling when I'm not actually tunneling the guy. Oh well, I'm losing my head thinking about this. But as you can see here, we're going across the whole fucking map. There's Camel Titty right there. She's on Death Hook. Camel Titty. And she just fucking screwed up. So, like, it is the appropriate choice for me to go fucking punish this. Because bad. But, again, it is very insanely close how playing Mr. Nice Guy and playing it well, I would argue. I would argue we played Mr. Nice Guy pretty damn good here. They still got 2 gens done during that whole time that we had all that pressure on them. And we were 1 hook away from triggering repair buff. As I said, that is dangerously fucking close. That is dangerously close. I think the easiest way to fix that issue would be to lower the number to 5. The number 6, as I said before, was chosen very, very intentionally, so you can't bounce between 2 people. That's why they chose 6. However, technically, when you're bouncing between 2 people, you're not tunneling. If this is true anti-tunnel, then it should punish tunneling. What it is, the definition. Tunneling is going after the same guy after they were unhooked. That's what tunneling is. You can't just move the goalposts like they are by choosing the number 6. Because again, why 6 was chosen was so you can't go back between 2 survivors. Which that is by definition not tunneling. It's they are choosing to like change what tunneling is. And by the way, if you bounce between 2 people, you could potentially get hit by DSs too. Which I mean, or OTRs. That's a little bit more acceptable, because like a DS and OTR can work like if you just get off the hook. But like what true tunneling is not really accounted for by those fucking systems. It was very dangerously close, and I, as the killer, admittedly was not actually keeping track of it, because again, you do have to keep track of it in the upcoming meta. It's something you have to do. I acknowledge that. But just sitting there playing Mr. Nice Guy and being nice to them and playing the way that they say I'm supposed to play, we were dangerously close to still getting hit by debuffs and repair buffs and all this crap. We were still very dangerously close to getting hit by that repair buff. And I find that to be absolutely fucking unacceptable. And by the way, the thing about Mr. Nice Guy is it just leaves so much time for them to do gens. Like, you do all this pressure and they still find a way to get over there and do them. They still get it to do them, bro. And it's like, And you'll see just how, just how kind of close we were to actually drawing here. And I, as a killer player, ladies and gentlemen, when you are a killer, you are aware of the skill level of everybody in the game. What irritates me as a killer player is that, and again, this is why I think Mr. Nice Guy just needs to be stronger, which defeats the whole purpose. Because if you make Mr. Nice Guy stronger and you're busted the whole time, it's like no survivor's gonna fucking like that. Like but like I, as a killer player, can tell you, especially that I am on Dredge, who is not the best. He is not the best killer in the game, far from it. A lot of people have him, fucking low mid, somewhere in that area. His chase power is very basic. Very, very basic reactable chase power. His map pressure is while better than most killers, it does fall short of being top tier outside of Nightfall. His cooldowns are just a little bit long. They're not insane behavior cooldowns. They're like certainly something Ghostface doesn't have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? He's certainly not Ghostface levels of trash in terms of the cooldowns, but he objectively could be a little faster. He is definitely slower than he could be, especially when he's not in Nightfall. But in Nightfall, he's pretty solid. Nightfall is when he feels like he's worth something. And again, he's a lot better than he used to be as well, and he's still like kind of mid. Good play there. But it's like we're kind of doing everything right that we're supposed to do. But these tunneling protections, but the slugging has its own issues. This is just mostly talking specifically about Mr. Nice Guy. Because if you Mr. Nice Guy, you're realistically not going to see the slugging time. Unless it's like at the end of the game and like you're slugging because if you don't slug, you're going to lose. Like if that's how you view slugging in the kit here. Here's the part where we almost... I mean, we don't lose the gens, but like this is why I think Killer needs to be fucking 120. Look how slow this process is. She has 2 pallets which are not very good. They are not very good pallets, and it takes his Bloodlust 1 to just even have the opportunity to secure a hit. And that we admittedly do fuck around here just a bit much, because I was trying to see what she was going to do. I didn't really want to go over to the only locker we have. We just didn't really have a play there. So it's like, okay, she's going to break away. And so it's like, I got to go secure my gens. Now, again, I save both gens, okay? I do save both gens, get it down here. So it's like you did the correct play, Rosie. You dropped chase, you didn't see what you liked. You went over, saved this gen, and then we're going to go fucking get this easy hook right over here. And we know that the other one has been pressured slightly too. We have a hook that's like right here. And we see the other aura that's not in Nightfall. And we save both gens. But everybody looking at those 2 gen progress, you know as well as I do that commitment there leads to them popping the generators. Both of those gens would have popped. And they would have gotten out. So again, my frustration as a killer is that, like, after all this pressure, we still came relatively close to losing. And this is the part that I was going to say earlier, but I got off topic. You know the skill level of everybody in the game. I'm here to tell you that everybody in this match was significantly worse than I am. Everybody was significantly worse than me. And again, that's no secret. You all can watch. These guys are obviously no geniuses. These guys aren't geniuses. They have failed to adequately utilize their resources, and they're getting hit way too many times by the fucking Dredge. Full of fucking doing stupid shit like popping out of lockers, trying to do like teleport plays to cut them off. They're falling for his very reactable chase power. These guys are no geniuses. And that they're getting clobbered. I argue they are getting absolutely clobbered by me. The problem is, like, it does not feel like if I had chosen to do a tunnel strat, because I know these guys are like significantly weaker than I am, I feel like we win this match with 3 gens left. I truly do feel that way. Now again, maybe it wouldn't have, because again, if you try to tunnel somebody, it's like if you don't explore the whole map, that then you could actually potentially find yourself tunneling the wrong individual and tunnel somebody who maybe is a little bit better than you think they are, and if you could have just found the weak link, if you had just Like, there's arguments no matter how you fucking look at it. But all in all, I just find this brutally inefficient. I find this very brutally inefficient. And if you see me stream before, I have said something similar as we have streamed. Like, look at that. Look at what she just fell for. Now, again, Jeff matchmaking is going to save you, and you are going to be able to defeat survivors even after everything that goes in. But, like, the point here is that, like, and again, they got me down to 1 gen. And again, I was never in any danger of losing this game. Like, the gen count does lie. It is deceptive. Because had we been under more pressure, we would have probably slugged. We would have done this, that, or the other. We would have made sure to harder focus somebody instead of committing to Mr. Nice Guy. But we were playing Mr. Nice Guy here because that's what the game wants you to do in the upcoming patch. And it took too long to kill this group of scrubs. This fucking group of not very good players. It took too long to kill them. It feels like they had a chance, they had a window to actually win as well. They had, well, maybe not win, but to maybe tie. Like, they had a window to convert some of the pressure into a 2K. Had I not committed, or had they just been better and not gotten insta down when I swapped targets, because as soon as I swapped targets, they instantly down. If they were like a Swift and that person pushed up, the Jane rotated to the other gen, and the Fang Min came out to where the gen was over there. Like, you know, had they made perfect rotations, and of course, if you're looking at this from a survivor perspective, I'm like, you can see 40 fucking things they're doing wrong. Grouping, lots of grouped interactions here, not very efficient on the generators. I think it was True Talent or somebody who said like if I want to beat them, especially by doing this, I have to play fucking perfect. And I wouldn't say I played perfect this game, but this was a damn good dredge match. I don't honestly play the character this well every single time I play him. Like, this was a damn fucking good dredge match for me. I have to play so well and do almost fucking perfect, and if I play perfectly, I will be able to fucking barely beat people that make fucking 300 mistakes in the game total. Like, that's kind of the fucking balance of where we are right now with this fucking shit. Now, again, maybe this shit will change it, but it just like, as this PTB goes up tomorrow and you start adjusting yourself to kind of be doing this again, like, if like those values aren't good, like, we're gonna have a major problem here, bro. Just by looking at, like, I am very concerned, because even when you look at the fucking Mr. Nice Guy, the way that it's meant to be analyzed and meant to be played and meant to be looked at, you can find that shit they're dropping in on you is almost fucking just as bad as for Mr. Nice Guy. It's just as bad for Mr. Nice Guy, and protects the survivors from things other than tunneling. It's what is meant to be a tunneling reduction update is just a fucking, even when you play Mr. Nice Guy, fucking a cruel joke to killer efficiency. Because when you start playing Mr. Nice Guy and you are able to look at the situations that it comes up in, you can find that the anti-tunneling shit, the quote-unquote anti-tunneling shit, can get in your way. And you know what? When stuff becomes anti-momentum, that's when it becomes ridiculous. There is nothing worse as killer than a roadblock to your momentum. And if you find the guy who's going to take away your repair buff, especially when you're like somebody like Legion, who's like bounces around from survivor to survivor, you know, if you see something you don't like, you have to leave. He's got the library at Larry's or something ridiculous, you know the situations I'm talking about. And so, like, it's very worrying and very concerning that even as you play Mr. Nice Guy, like, you could just be playing killer, and this quote unquote anti-tunnel shit can get in your way. Like, again, 5 survivors. I think 5 survivors is fucking way more than enough. It's way more than enough hooks. I felt like I should have had somebody fucking dead by the fucking 8-minute mark. If you played 8 minutes of Dead by Daylight and you haven't killed somebody yet, That's fucking stupid. Now, to be fair, we kill somebody at fucking what? We have somebody dead at 9 minutes, right? Just about. So it's like kind of right where I want to be. But like 9 minutes is still a long time to fucking sit there and not have somebody dead. And then if you like when you play Mr. Nice Guy, the pressure's not even off you yet. It's like tunneling just speeds the match up by like 20%. And I just argue that's better for the game. I argue that's better for the game. It's better for the people being tunneled because they get them out. The thing about this is, like, I'm sitting here fucking, like, I don't want to say stressed. That's not the right word, but it's like I still have to do everything perfectly as I make play after play after play. I'm not really alleviating real pressure off myself. So, like, I'm not having fun because, my fucking God, I gotta do every fucking thing right or I'm still in danger of losing. Even though I killed somebody, it doesn't feel like the pressure's off me yet. The pressure only felt off of me, I would say, at about... The pressure felt off of me at the fucking... Right here, the 15 minutes and 30 seconds in out of an 18-minute, 44-second game, did the pressure really, truly feel off of me. Like, okay, I am now no longer in danger of losing. I played my character well enough to secure a win no matter what. When you tunnel, you can feel that way at like 7 to 10 minutes into your match. Almost 10 minutes earlier, you can win the game if you tunnel, pretty much. Not every time, because as I said, sometimes they'll get the gens done long enough, or the guy will last long enough to where it's still kind of a game in that final sector. So not every time. But it's like the people that you will beat to playing like this, just the number, like you have to be 2 times better than everybody in the game for it to work. It's just, again, that's... It's gonna be rough, bro. The only thing we can do is take it one step at a time tomorrow. Take it one step at a time. First thing you have to do is figure out how bad repair buff is. Once we figure out how bad repair buff is, we need to figure out what our values are. And then we go from there. Once we have those things, that's what we determine what to do next. This build, there's the last thing I want to comment on before I get out of here. The Call of Brine did a lot of good work this match, so that's definitely a perk to keep an eye on. We didn't really talk about its value itself, but like, if we don't have Call of Brine, this gen up here falls very quickly. Call of Brine saved this gen from popping. I don't believe it pops throughout the entire game. That was definitely a Call of Brine save. Call of Brine does put in value and is not worthless. Call of Brine is a very good perk. Deadlock, I still think Deadlock is doing okay, did its job. Blood Vapor got some value. Not the biggest Blood Vapor game. They cleansed it relatively early, especially if into a 20-minute match. They cleansed Blood Vapor fucking what? About 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes into an 18-minute match. So not the biggest Blood Vapor game. It did land a couple hits though. We don't know the big roll it did not first chase. We don't know what it did, but still small. But Blood Vapor can be good. I had a match with it yesterday where it lasted about 7 minutes, and it did actually a lot as Demogorgon. Again, did that off stream. But the perk that I find interesting though, and I'm very interested to see what Coup de Grace does in this upcoming meta, because Coup de Grace is a very good perk. Coup de Grace does work in Mr. Nice Guy. It is a good perk. It does work. It does its job. But there are 2 reasons where I think Coup de Grace might come out of at least my build. 1, Coup de Grace, simply when you play, the main difference between when you play tunneling and when you play Mr. Nice Guy is that tunneling, ladies and gentlemen, when you tunnel somebody, you have enough Coup de Grace tokens to win the game. You get a total of 10 Coup de Grace tokens. You use those 10 tokens to take 10 crucial health states that help you win the game. When you play Mr. Nice Guy, Coup de Grace, you're going to find it's empty. It's empty more often than it's lit. Again, I don't want to do a full percentage, but like it takes them... Think about how good our pressure was this match, to where It took them fucking 5 minutes just about to pop the first generator. 4 minutes and 50 seconds is when they popped the first gen. That is an absurd amount of early game pressure that realistically should not be happening against anybody who's good. Like, yes, we always say, oh my god, it's very easy for them to pop the first gen. Like, if you're holding the first gen for 5 minutes, they are particularly bad. They are a particularly bad group of players. But, like, okay, so it took us 5 minutes to accruing tokens. We've already set ourselves up for the Mr. Nice Guy advantage state. Now, coup de grace, it was not worth the hit. But first of all, we don't need coup de grace to secure this hit. We needed the lunge, but we did not need coup. Coup de grace value, we haven't actually gotten coup value here. Okay, we saved it there. Conserving your tokens is going to be helpful. Let's see if we get it here. I believe we just get a read. We go for a play with it here, but we actually get hit by the pallet. So it's been about 6-7 minutes. No coup value. There has not been coup de grace value 7 minutes into the game. Once you secure what Mr. Nice Guy is doing, coup de grace is going to be fucking not online a lot. Whereas in the tunnel build, you're less reliant on what the gens look like, so coup de grace is going to get lit up more. Not too fast, because that's what Deadlock is doing. That's what Deadlock is there to stop. But our first instance, again, they don't pop the second generator until 8:33. So it's been 8 minutes. We have not gotten coup value yet. Trying to see the next time we use it. Here it is. Okay. We finally get coup de grace value 9 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. Now again, these people are bad. That is definitely a big reason as to why coup de grace is not seeing much value here. They're bad. They can't actually pop the gens. And I believe we just got some value out of it here as well. Because they pop the... Do we get value here with it? Yes, we do. Yes, that is coup value. Because you speed up, and I think she makes that without coup. It's also possible she doesn't, though. I don't know. Make up your own judgment on that. I think she makes that without coup. But it's very possible that wasn't even that coup de grace value. Okay, we missed it there. I'm just trying to see every instance that we use it to see if we proc value of it. And we missed it here because he had an exhaustion perk. But just something to keep in mind. Now again, I want to see coup in Mr. Nice Guy versus better survivors. Now again, we are missing it a lot, but it's like, it's not something I'm consciously thinking about as I play. Whereas when I'm doing a tunnel build, I'm like, what's Q at? How many stacks we got? Etc. Etc. In Mr. Nice Guy, when you have an advantage state going like this, I'm not thinking about coup de grace tokens. I'm not thinking about them. The flow is just so good that like we can afford to like give ourselves an extra second. Maybe it would be nice here to continue, but like, have we had coup de grace here, we might have fucking misplayed. Probably not though, but like the temptation would have been there because she is on Death Hook. I don't know. I'm just fucking spitballing now here. But again, one step at a time. And again, if you're like me and you have the coup de grace Deadlock combo, which I think those two work really well together, if coup de grace leaves the build, there's room to take Deadlock out as well and try something else. All this stuff like works together and links together. So it's going to be very interesting to see what stuff gets favored. How good your base kit haste is will definitely affect the future of coup de grace. Because if the base kit haste is good and you have like furtive chase in your build or something, that might be your main chase perk. If furtive chase becomes your main option to chase people, like that could definitely be coup de grace leaves for a different perk. But again, coup de grace with furtive is also tempting to utilize as well. So again, it's just going to be radically different. It's just going to be radically different, and I'm very curious to see what ends up happening here. But lads, that's tomorrow. And again, we're all fucking killer mains. They do this to us all the time. We're going to improvise, we're going to adapt, and we're going to fucking kill them anyway, because that's what we do. That's what we fucking do. Every time they do this to us, they've done it to us very many times, where they've blown up our meta, they've blatantly abused us. Now again, this is the worst of it. This is the worst of it, where they are fucking disrespecting our loyalty and our good faith by fucking giving us the worst set of nerfs that we've ever taken. Tomorrow, it's going to be ugly, but in the end, you know that Jeff matchmaking is going to save you from constant Swift over and over again, and everybody that's cheering about these changes isn't good. There's no way like a good survivor is celebrating those changes, because good survivors know they already beat you. Everyone that's celebrating this is a bad survivor, and thus you will kill everybody celebrating these changes anyway. And that all being said, I'm getting the hell out of here. GG's.